What's up, listeners? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the In the Endzone podcast. Just a quick heads up before we jump right into it. You can find this recording as well as some of our previous recordings on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can find us by searching at Settle Down Media on both of those sites. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages. We regularly post on Instagram. You can find us by searching at In the Endzone podcast on Instagram. So thanks for watching this and enjoy the rest of the episode. Peace. Be there. I know somehow we're gonna get there and be so wonderful.
Okay, so I'm glad that the recording happened after the first couple of lyrics because
I know.
Anyways,
it's all for real.
What's happened, fellas? How we doing?
Doing
First round of
good.
playoffs done. Did you guys watch it?
I did.
Yeah, it was boring. Not gonna lie. For the most part, it was boring.
Why?
I wouldn't say all that.
I mean,
Depends on who you're rooting for.
1.5 good games.
Sure.
I mean, realistically, there was one good
Depends
game,
on-
and then there's another one that was kind of like,
Depends on who you're rooting for. That was good. You know.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Either way, we have a fun week ahead of us. Like we
Mhm.
said, it was the first round of the playoffs. Anthony, how's your week been, man?
Been all right, man. Went up to Boise for a little bit, and then we're back down here and currently clearing out my room, packing up to go back down to Southern California. It's gonna be great. Super excited to head back down there. A lot of work for me to be doing, so I'm excited for that. And then, but yeah, no, I'm tired, very tired right now from all the works in the past 2 days now.
Yeah,
But
I feel-
overall, it's been good.
well, we'll have a quick episode. So, Keaton,
Yeah.
how's your week been?
Week's been a blur, man. Been sick literally ever since I got back from Los Angeles.
Dude,
Still
you're
dealing.
still sick, huh?
Yes, still dealing with congestion. It's been awful. I probably got like some sort of like, I don't know, whatever I got. But yeah, went back to the gym yesterday, watched some football, just some good vibes all the way around. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
what about you?
Well, getting into my week, man, it's been kind of a blur as well. I mean, I went out with Diego last weekend. That was fun. Dude, Diego, I love that man. Shout out to Diego if you're listening to this. He's always a fun time to go out with. We went out in his place, so Redondo Beach. That was a lot of fun.
Ew.
And then I came back, watched some football, worked out, and just been working since. So
Nice.
the week is kind of flying by. These last 2 days have just felt like they haven't even been here. Honestly, it's just been fucking work and then sleep. So I'm ready to talk some ball, though. I'm ready to talk some ball, and we have week 2 of the playoffs in front of us. So Keaton,
Well, real quick, I just want to ask, Keaton, what's your background for this week?
no.
Yeah.
We don't have to do that.
What's crazy is when I went down to Los Angeles with Zach, we, for those who don't know, went to a Rams game. Rams game was cool. SoFi Stadium, awesome place. What's interesting is when Zach was eating his nachos, me and Diego, we walked around, went to the bathrooms, and I ran into this gentleman. His name is Joe Horitz. I find out he's the general manager of the Chargers. So we strike up a conversation, and he's like, dude, you should come down, look at the locker rooms for the Chargers. I said, cool. So I went down there, got to tour them. This is all while we were waiting for Diego to finish up at the restroom. And so I go, man, everything looks cool. Where's Justin Herbert's? And he said, oh, well, Justin Herbert actually has his own separate locker room just because he's a pretentious little pussy. And so he goes, here, I'll show you. So he walks me over. And, dude, this is, I shit you not, literally what it was. This is Justin Herbert's locker room, dude. He has to change in this every day.
Oh my god, dude,
And-
you're fucking ridiculous.
Dude, I mean, it's just I was shell shocked. I was like, man, this is the franchise guy,
Fucking ridiculous, man.
Like this. I mean, this guy's got so many Pro Bowls, like, Hall of Fame, like quarterback, all pro player. He should definitely be changing in the locker room with everyone else. But to them, this is like a special place to change. Only guys that throw 4 interceptions get to change here. So I wanted to show everyone kind of like, it's like a show and tell. And this was like my cool experience from the Rams thing. This is like what I got to see. And so evidently, if you guys didn't know,
PB&J that we brought him to school for kindergarten.
yeah, exactly,
Remember
dude.
that
Yeah, it's like bring your hamster to school. You know,
God.
everyone now gets
I
to
was
know
trying
how
to
Justin Herbert gets the change for the games. So,
fellas, you're gonna see
Yeah.
in the intro. I said something that might come back to bite me in the ass.
oh,
However,
Ant and I need to talk
well.
about this too.
I
Mhm.
still think that he's better than Jared Goff. You're gonna watch.
Yeah,
right
okay,
now.
okay.
Green 18. Red 48. Settle down. Wide 80. Set hut.
We suck. We suck. Get rid of Belichick. Get rid of Mac Jones. Get rid of our entire fucking receiving core.
You guys are 2-8.
That's what I thought. 2-7, 2-8. It doesn't matter. We still suck.
So Seahawks played the Ravens. Final score was 28-25. Geno Smith 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Anyway, not really much to write home about that game. Just
Right.
this is.
I don't think Jared Goff is a top 5 quarterback in the NFC.
Wait,
think-
are you putting
I think
Justin
Aaron
Herbert?
Rodgers-
Are you putting Justin Herbert over Jared Goff? first off?
Yes.
It was like an interview for like a new podcast company.
Yeah.
Called
Mm-hmm.
Brazzers. I mean, you could see I'm
Petey.
literally I'm in the headquarters right now, dude.
Okay. First and foremost, sorry to cut you off. That was a little bit of a dick move. So I'll eat my own words there.
No. Honestly,
However,
I
However,
I deserve this. Hey, look, I didn't see the private chat beforehand. If you guys don't know, what we use is StreamYard. StreamYard has a private chat. And Keaton said, ask me about my background when Zach is done. I didn't see this, so I jumped into it knowing that Keaton had that background. Him and I talked before this. So I try to avoid it. I tried avoiding talking about the background. I can't avoid the intro. I can't avoid what I said.
The intro is there for a long
I
time.
also cannot avoid every single bad take that I've had in the
Yeah,
last.
you know what? We've all had bad takes. We've had some bad
They've
takes.
been bad.
The games that we chose for this week were bad. However, one of the things I do want to say, so if you guys don't know, Zach is like the biggest Justin Herbert fan of all time. You know, it is what it is. He's an exciting player to some, but Justin Herbert threw 4 interceptions in that playoff game. And the first thing that went through my mind was I'm going to take that intro and clip it and send it directly to our group chat.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we can't see it. That's okay. But essentially it's just that him saying, I think Justin Herbert's better than Jared Goff clip. So I send it into our group chat that we use for football. At the exact same time, Anthony also had the exact same idea, clipped the exact same frame to frame that I did, and posted it almost at the exact same time that I did.
It was
And so
maybe a
he and I-
second later.
He and I sent the same video to each other within a 10-second span, unbeknownst to each other that we had just copied each of our ideas. So, Zach, you know, I'll give you a pass about Caleb Williams. I would like an apology about Justin Herbert.
No.
Because you're going to give me an apology about either. You know, Caleb Williams at least deserves something.
No. Caleb at least played decent. With that offensive line, what can you do?
Hey, Geno Smith had 4 touchdowns against the Rams. So let's just
God, this fucking guy.
29th ranked offensive line in football. Okay, let's just say this.
Guy.
Just
Okay,
a
well,
quick I
another
apologize.
quarterback that played the Rams.
Yeah.
From the bottom of my heart, I'd like to
I
take this
know.
time to apologize.
To absolutely fucking nobody.
Absolutely fucking nobody. Keaton, look. Do you deserve an apology? Yes. Should I give you an apology? No. Am I gonna be the bigger man? Yes. Keaton, I am sorry about my take about Justin Herbert. Now. Hold on. I did it. I want something from you. I want an apology about Josh Allen.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm sorry about Josh Allen. I'll eat that fucking. I'll eat that Josh Allen ass all day, dude. I'm gonna eat that, dude. That's crazy. I was so wrong about Josh Allen. It's absurd.
Dude.
Although he did like he was a turnover machine the last couple of years. Now he's not. So I'll say I was kind of right and wrong, but sure.
Kind of. He's definitely developed. However, I want to say this. Typically in the past, when you guys have coordinated something like this with the background or like a video about Brock,
we did not coordinate this.
No coordination. So
Okay.
I didn't see the comment that said, ask me about my background when Zach is done. So that was literally like perfect time. I was like, what the fuck? Why are they interrupting me?
Yeah.
But I can't defend it.
Okay.
Jared Goff is the top 5 NFC quarterback. Justin Herbert in 2 playoff games now has sucked. Is
Yeah,
what it is.
stats
We'll
aren't
talk
great.
about that later.
Yeah. Well, look, do we?
We'll probably talk about that right now.
Yeah,
Unless you
yeah.
have something to.
I can talk. This is real quick before we hop into the Chargers and Texans game, right? Let me just pull up an early crazy stat about this since we're on the topic of Justin Herbert. Okay, so Justin Herbert's playoff resume. Okay, in 2022 versus the Jaguars, blew a 27-0 lead, and now in 2024 versus the Texans threw 4 interceptions.
And I'm pretty sure in that game too, where he blew the 28-point lead, he threw multiple interceptions. Am I wrong with that? Or was that? No. He threw. I think he threw 2, and Trevor Lawrence threw 4.
He threw 2 or 3, but still, though, I don't know the exact stat on that. But nevertheless, though, come on, like, and that was Trevor Lawrence too, man.
Yeah.
That's Trevor Lawrence on top of that.
So his first game he threw for 273 yards and 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. This one, holy fuck! I'm gonna get into it, and we're gonna. I'm gonna.
Yeah, let's just. Do we want to talk about this game a little bit too?
Yeah, let's get into it. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna get into it. Typically, we have like a longer list of games that we would talk about, but it's a wild card weekend. If your team wasn't there, I'm sorry to tell you.
None of our teams were there.
None of them.
In the same boat. None of our 3 teams were there, so we're gonna get into it. Chargers at Texans in probably the most surprising game in my opinion. Texans won 32-12. Wild, by the way. Ravens against Steelers. Kind of saw this happening. Kind of saw that it was going to happen. Ravens won 28-14, belt to ass style.
Yeah.
Bills at Broncos 31-7. I said that this game, if there was going to be an upset game, would have been it. Bills are way too good for that.
Out.
I didn't predict the Broncos to win. However, the Bills were dominating the whole game. They just
Broncos
did not take advantage of the
Broncos looked good in the fourth
quarter. They did.
Yeah, first quarter Broncos looked great, but they just
did.
couldn't get the offense rolling. Second, Bills got that offense rolling. It was over.
Bo Nix was the only one that looked like he wanted to win that.
Yeah.
Yep. By the way, and maybe this will be something that we talk about later. I just thought of this. Hold on.
Joseph
I'll
Nix.
write that down for later. Okay. Packers at Eagles 22-10. And really, this game was fucking boring. I'm sorry. It wasn't a defensive game. You look at the score and it's like 22-10. Like, that's a defensive game. No.
Awful. I have a stat about this.
Offense.
I have a stat about this game.
There was no offense. Dude, I saw someone tweet that the Eagles accidentally won that game, and that's exactly how it looked. That's exactly how it looked. Commanders at Bucks, in my opinion, the only good game of the week.
Goat game of the week.
23-20. Jane Daniels, you are him. He is more clutch than probably 90% of quarterbacks already. He is like that. Vikings at Rams 27-9 in a game that, again, I was very shocked about. I did not have the Rams beating the Vikings, but they did. And realistically, we have like a good amount of games to talk about if we wanted to. I think we could probably just go down the list and kind of go through this because our news section is not like terribly long. And then after that, it's really just a crazy stat and what our predictions are. So
yeah,
let's just go down it. Chargers at Texans, fellas. What do we think? I know that you wanted to bring something up, Keaton, so go for it.
No, I don't have a stat for this game, although I actually can provide a stat for this game. I do have one pulled up. It just wasn't my intention.
Or was it you, Anthony? Someone had said something about the game, and then I said, let's jump into it. Oh, no, it was me. It was me that said this.
Yeah, I was going to say, I do have a stat for this game. That
I already read off my stat for that game.
Yeah. Keaton, before you do it, just so I remember, I have this pulled up. Justin Herbert in this game. I was going to read this earlier, obviously, because we were talking about it, but it's just fitting now that we're actually talking about the playoff game in which he just performed horribly in. His completion percentage was 43.8. He had 242 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions, and this is what had me laughing. A QB rating of 40.9. 40.9. Dude, that is one of the lowest I've seen all fucking year. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. That might be the lowest that we mentioned all year.
Nope.
No.
I'm going to actually, let me pull this up. Where is the
real quick while you find that too? And doesn't matter. Like, you can't play like that. You absolutely cannot play like that in a playoff game. No. Like, unacceptable. Like, you're not going to win. Like, you can't rely on everyone else to help you win that game if that's how you're going to be performing. Sure, yes, Texans defense honestly was on one that game. I'll give them that. Like, surprised me, but No excuses. No excuses.
So I want to say this. Going into that game, he had a regular season stat line of 23 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. He threw more interceptions in one playoff game than his whole fucking season.
Mhm.
And I also do want to say this. 1, if not 2, can be 50-50 with the wide receivers. The rest of them were fucking bad balls. Like, there was one that went right through the receiver's hands. There was another one where he jumped up and went through the receiver's hands. The other ones were bad.
It was 2 and 2. It was 2 and 2. Two of them were
and it's not.
2 of them were receivers' fault,
like,
and 2 of them were his fault.
Yes, and realistically, it could have been 3-1. Like, Justin did not have a good game. And realistically, in the first quarter, I was like, dude, what is this team doing? Like, if you guys watched that game, I watched this at lunch, and I think it was maybe like 2 minutes left in the first quarter, but I was watching it, and it was after my haircut. I'm like, dude, this is the type of game the Texans are literally going to win because they couldn't do anything. Like, if you watch that first quarter, it was field goal, field goal, field goal. Justin Herbert hit a guy in their fucking hands. They have the second most drops in the league behind Green Bay. If you guys didn't know that, they would either drop it or he would, again, overthrow it. Confidence went out the window. Second half, that man struggled. And look, man, like Keaton said, I'm an advocate of Justin Herbert, but how do you defend him? I mean, there's only one other guy in the league that I know of that has thrown for 4 interceptions in a playoff game. Trevor Lawrence.
Question.
Trevor Lawrence good? Not in my opinion. Keaton?
Yes, Keaton.
Okay, so the reason I said no to your original question about whether that is the lowest QBR we have seen was because there was something about Aaron Rodgers where he posted a 1.2 QBR at some point this season, which is the lowest since Davis Mills. However,
but did we mention that in a podcast?
We have, but his true quarterback rating, it's a weird metric, but it was a 44.0. Justin Herbert's was a 40. So that was the game that Aaron Rodgers, 67% completion percentage, 112 yards, 2 interceptions, a fumble.
Yeah, that was brutal.
44 QBR. So Justin Herbert, just not a.
Now I want to know.
Justin
Lowest
Herbert just
passer
put
rating
the
by a
icing on the
quarterback.
cake.
I think it was
in a
passer
playoff
rating.
game ever. Oh, okay, so he's not even top 25. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's some
been
bad.
guys that have fucking
Russell
had
Wilson has
0.
like one of the worst ones too.
Yeah.
Against the
Oh
NFC
my
champion or in the
God.
NFC championship game against
Okay,
these.
but like these guys are barely fucking
Packers.
playing.
Yeah, again, for a full starter, you have to take that into account. Anyway, listen, here is my stat about this game because this was, I mean, dude, it was built to ass from the get-go. This is something that has always fucking plagued the Chargers. Is actually, a couple years ago they came back and beat the Jags, but for the most part, they've never been a second half team. This stat is pretty lopsided. The Chargers have been outscored 63-9 from 1 minute left in the second quarter through the rest of the game in their last 2 playoff games.
Yes, that makes perfect sense.
Basically meaning in the second half, they've scored 9 points and been outscored 63.
And that's what I was saying. I'm like, dude, football is a momentum fucking game. If you get a fucking turnover like they did on the first drive, and you get a quarterback like CJ Stroud, who looked like he was going through a sophomore slump during that game, because CJ Stroud, let's not fucking forget about this. CJ Stroud threw for 2 interceptions too. That man
He did not play well, but he didn't play bad. If you watch the rest of the game post those 2 interceptions, it wasn't bad.
It was not bad.
And this is the thing.
But he still had 2 interceptions.
There was about 10 minutes left, and it was a 3rd and 15. He scrambled out to the right, and I think he threw to, oh man, who was that? It wasn't Collins. It was John Mechie the third. Pretty sure it was him. It was one of the wide receivers that are obviously playing now because of all their injuries. However, it was a dime piece. From there on, gained all of his confidence. Difference between him and Justin, he was able to gain his fucking confidence after not playing well, and Justin wasn't. Justin just did not gain his confidence back. Anyways, we're going to stop talking about that because we could talk about this forever. Obviously, we have differing opinions that might become the same now after that game. I don't know.
QBR was 13.
I still don't know how I feel about Justin Herbert. I honestly don't know how I feel about CJ Stroud because there was a point in which I had CJ Stroud in my top 6. I also had Justin Herbert in my top 5, so
Sure.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next game. This game, like we said, was kind of belt to ass. We expected it. 28-14, the Steelers at Ravens. The Steelers won, though, 28-14. And they had damn near 300 rushing yards, fellas. 300 rushing yards. And I want to say this. I wish I had the video pulled up. I wish I did. Maybe, Keaton, you can find it because you're running
What's the
through
video
stats right now. There was a guy that went through it, and he said what the Steelers have been outscored by in the last, I think 5 playoff games because
Yes,
Mike
I have it.
Yep, I knew you were going to have something like this, but this
I
was
literally
my
have that
stat of
same
this
stat
game.
that you talking about.
Mike Tomlin, let's see, is tied for second now for the longest losing streak in NFL history for playoff games. Marvin Lewis, if you guys remember Marvin Lewis, he was a bum with the Bengals, bad coach. And Mike Tomlin, 6 games right below him. Marvin Lewis had 7. It's still counting. It's still counting. And Mike Tomlin, yet again, gets this praise by everyone that he does something with a shitty roster and gets 10-7. It's like, dude, first of all, look at the defense. Not shitty. You have Pro Bowlers, if not all pro type of guys on each level of that defense. Second of all, that offense is ran as if it was in the 1990s. Mike Tomlin needs to be fucking fired.
So
Sorry.
I have a really crazy stat about the Steelers and Mike Tomlin.
Okay.
Do you guys want that now or do you want that
Please.
later?
No, send it now.
Go ahead,
Send it
Queen.
now.
Pop off.
Mike Tomlin is now 0-6 in the Steelers' last 6 playoff games. On top of that, they've been outscored a combined 73-0 in the first quarter and 143-47 at half.
So, Keen, I don't know if that was a stat, but that was what I was talking about.
That was one of the stats I've had. I mean, it was just
So-
that they're 0-6. I also saw a stat that they haven't had to lead at all in their last 5 games.
Yep, I saw that as well.
They've been tied for a grand total of 10 minutes.
So let me ask you guys this. Mike Tomlin still gets praised because this roster is
gone.
bad. It's not bad, first of all. It's better than most of the teams in the league, if not more than half. However, he gets praised because he goes 10-7 with a team that doesn't have Pro Bowlers or all pro fucking type of players, whatever you want to say, although they do. My question to you is this. If you get outscored 77-0 in the last 5 playoff games, who is to be blamed?
Mike Tomlin.
Sorry, sir. You said who's to be blamed?
If you
Arthur
are to
Smith,
be
my man.
outscored 77-0 in
Arthur
the last
Smith.
5 playoff games. Who is to be blamed?
Arthur Smith. All right, look, I'm going to be honest.
It's preparation.
I
And at
think
this point, you have to blame fucking coaches.
look,
What else are you blaming?
I am of sound mind and body that Mike Tomlin is one of the most overrated head coaches, and we said this at the start of the year, right? Like
All time.
say what you will. He got a massive extension. We bought into the hype. We had the Steelers in our top 5 at one point. They were 10-3, and then 9-3, 8-3, or whatever, and they just fell apart. They fell apart. But dude, that offense looked awful. And Arthur Smith, their offensive coordinator, he was the Falcons head coach from 2021 to 2023. Horrible. That team was god awful in those years. They sucked.
A lot of talent.
Under Kyle Pitts, they brought in Bijan Robinson after the fact, but he wasn't great. And then Arthur Smith, last 5 games, dude, that offense looked awful. Russell Wilson, all they had him doing was moonballs, man, and they just couldn't get going. And then George Pickens, he has his moments where he's great, and then he just throws a fit and ruins the team chemistry, and that was it. Him and Mike Tomlin, it's like Gordon Ramsay and Anthony Bourdain and cooking up the worst fucking play
Beef
you could
Wellington
watch on a
ever.
football. Yes, dude.
A burnt
They were
beef
cooking up,
Wellington.
dude. Oh my God. An idiot sandwich. Arthur Smith. You know what's funny? You know what's funny about Arthur Smith? And this is off topic a little bit. His father is the founder of FedEx. This guy
What?
is the inheritor of like several $billion. Do you know how much of a grinder you have to be one of the most rich kids of all time, and you're just addicted to being a coordinator for football and you suck at it? That's amazing. You're so content with sucking at it, and you could just afford to not do it. It's amazing.
And no one's gonna call him out because what are they gonna say?
No one's gonna call him out. I know. His
You're
dad's
successful,
got buku
unfortunately.
bucks. So
Moving on
yeah.
to the next game, we got the Broncos at Bills. This was kind of expected. I said this from the beginning that I thought this could have been one of the games that was on upset alert, or at least the Bills were on upset alert. And in that first quarter, the Broncos looked like they could hang. They just didn't score enough. Bo Nix played well. That defense looked like they were just outmatched. And realistically, Josh Allen's just him. He's just great. He's just great at football.
Yeah,
I don't really have anything else to say about this game. If you guys want to talk, go for it. If
That
not,
Bills defense honestly locked in after that first quarter. I'll say that.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
They
they locked in, they figured it out. They went, I understand it now. And then
they
just
did.
they locked down the Broncos, honestly. And I'm not gonna lie, dude. I think that Broncos offense was one of the best that we've seen like this season. This entire season.
I mean, just
Yeah, no, and I think the Bills figured it out, and Josh Allen being Josh Allen, and honestly, shout out Boise State represent. You know, Khalil Shakir, he locked in as well. He
dog of a game.
Played, he played insane.
I think the MVP of that game, obviously, you know, you look at the Josh Allen numbers, and you can't not give him the MVP, but I think the unsung hero is James Cook.
Yes.
He is such.
No, I wanted to mention that as well.
He is an absolute floor spacer, dude. He is a floor spacer. You can't commit to the throw because they'll kill you on the run. He'll kill you on the run. You commit to the run, Josh Allen will kill you on the throw. Dude, he's fantastic. It's amazing that Dalvin Cook has a twin brother, essentially. It is amazing.
Yep.
He had 23 carries, 120 yards and a touchdown. And I mean, he's just he's so good. He's so good. He's so good. So yeah, it was belt to ass.
Zach, remember the beginning of the season when we said James Cook is overrated?
Yep.
Yeah, that's one of our bad takes. That's one of our bad takes that we're revealing right now because
I didn't commit to that. I don't believe
we didn't say that on the pod. We said that during fantasy.
Okay.
Josh Allen stats: 76.9 completion percentage, 272 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a rating of 135.4, which is
46 rushing yards.
Justin Herbert. However, I want to say this. I want to give a shout out to the Bills coaching staff, and maybe they will prove me wrong. However, that team has gone through a lot of injuries, and that defense looked prepared. They looked prepared. And again, that defense has gone through a lot of injuries compared to at least that offense. Like most of their injuries that have been big have been on that defense. They played great all year. They looked phenomenal against the Broncos. So shout out to them. Next week is going to be a fucking movie with them, the Ravens. I am so excited for that game. But
that's the game of the week.
To the Packers and Eagles. Really, this game was just a game of attrition because the Packers had literally all of their starters get injured.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that.
This is
basically
even Jalen Reed got injured that game.
Yeah, 4 of their starters went out. There was no offense, and if I'm an Eagles fan, I'm not happy with that.
No.
I'm not talking about the Packers because we kind of expected this. I mean, the Packers are a bit injured. They feel like they're missing a piece.
Yeah.
Jordan Love might be with Justin Herbert in that locker room behind you, Keaton, because he did not play well either.
Jordan Farr.
I want to talk about this Eagles team because we had them, all 3 of us, had them going to the NFC Championship game. I'm worried. I'm a little bit worried, bro. I'm not going to lie, man. I'm not going to lie.
I think we should talk about that part of it when we actually
Rams
get
at Eagles game. Yeah, we'll talk about that. I think it's going to be good. And we'll talk about this Rams game too. Coaching comes into play. I think you look at it and it's just I text my buddy, big Eagles fan, and second that game starts, Eagles hit the special teams player, the kick returner, force a fumble and go down and score a touchdown. And I text my buddy way to set the tone. Like this might be belt to ass. Dude, they could not get it going after that. It was so ugly. It was beyond ugly. You want to know a crazy stat about how ugly this game was? Okay.
This is going to be a two-parter. Jalen Hurts is the first quarterback to win a playoff game with 131 yards passing or less. Can you name the last quarterback that won a game with those passing yards or less?
Is it current? Like we could guess it?
Yeah, it's a current player.
It's not
Current
Jalen Hurts
quarterback.
again, right?
It's Jalen Hurts versus the
Oh
49ers
my
in
God,
2022.
no way. Dude, I'm going to guess that game. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's crazy.
So
Holy shit.
that is, you have the best offensive line in all of football. And the fact is they just could not get it going. They couldn't get it going. And,
I mean,
you know, we'll talk a little bit more about it, but it was concerning. Saquon played well enough, but it just did not look good at all.
I mean, it was so concerning that we got to the point where AJ Brown was reading on the sideline.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I have a photo I want to
reading
show.
a fucking book with one reception in the whole game.
10 yards,
Moving
one reception
on
for
because
10
this
yards.
is taking a little bit too long. The Commanders at Bucks, probably the game of the week. Look, really the changing moment was when Baker fumbled. And it sucks to mention that. It sucks to bring that up because we all love Baker here. Keaton, I know that you really like Baker.
I'm the
Baker's
biggest
grown on
Baker
me a
fan,
lot.
dude. I love Baker.
And Baker played fucking phenomenal up until that point. One mistake really cost him. Jaden Daniels is clutch as fuck. I mean, that's really it. What a fucking game. What a fucking game. We called it too. We knew this one was going to be close. It was close. Phenomenal game. I don't know if you guys want to mention anything. Also, Terry McLaurin. He's reminded me a lot. Dude, he is fucking nuts. He's reminding me a lot of Mike Evans. Just criminally underrated.
You know what was awesome? You know what was awesome to watch? Marshawn Lattimore, Mike Evans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good matchup. Mike Evans was cooking.
Ass.
Mike Evans. God, Mike Evans is so good.
Dude, he's so good.
It was a great game. It was back and forth. And dude, you know what? Shout out the Commanders. They get rid of their owner. The first year under new ownership, they win their first playoff game in 19 years. Got to give them fucking credit, man. Like, you can hate them all you want. That is very impressive to do in the first year. So,
hell of a game. Easily the best game. And then we have the Vikings at Rams. The Rams won 27-9. We're going to talk about this a little bit too. I'm just shocked, honestly. I'm kind of speechless. Like, that was not what I was expecting. And, dude, maybe with some of these, you just got to overvalue coaching and quarterbacks because we look at this and the Rams fucking run the Vikings under the table with coaching and quarterback. And we thought, hey, can Sam Darnold really do it? Can he? Nope.
Sam McDarnold.
Matthew Stafford came out throwing the ball like he was a fucking clone of Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to give the little Chris Collinsworth glaze right now, but he looked great. I mean, he was thrown all over that Rams defense, that Vikings defense. And look, dude, I don't want to mention the Vikings coaching staff because they've been great all year. They looked outcoached, both of them.
Kevin O'Connell looked very outcoached.
Kevin O'Connell looked like he was confused. And realistically, that defense looked like they were not prepared at all.
There is Monday Night Football, I would rather listen to rocks hit my car while I'm inside the car and someone shooting a pistol behind my left ear than listen to Joe Buck call a football game. I'm sorry. So I listen to Manningcast because I, like any respectable human, would rather listen to three guys talk football than Joe Buck, whatever. They brought on Jared Allen. If you don't know Jared Allen, one of the best, probably the best defensive player, well, one of the best defensive players in Vikings history, should be a Hall of Famer, maybe third or fourth ballot, whatever the case is, right?
Will be for sure.
He came in and he was like, he's a Vikings fan, right? Obviously. And he said, it's really weird to watch a team that's done the same thing week after week after week, get to the playoffs and change exactly what their game plan is. He said, holding on to the ball, trying to get these deep shot routes. Their defense is just playing deep coverage and just giving up easy throws. They're not pressuring the quarterback. They're not blitzing like they normally do. And say what you will, man, Sean McVay might be the best head coach in the NFL.
Mastermind.
That guy is amazing in what he's able to do with any roster whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yep.
That team for 3 weeks was awful. They only looked good against the Seahawks, and it was like, okay, well, it's, whatever. It's last game of the season, whatever the case is. Matt Stafford has the highest, going into the game, had the highest passing yards per game for any quarterback with a minimum 5 games played in the playoffs, by the way. So it's like 300 yards a game is what he averages in the playoffs.
Really?
Which I'm pretty sure I saw the stat right, and it was number 1 or top 5 or whatever the case is.
I did
So
not
he
see
comes
that.
to play.
Crazy.
But they
Every time.
felt to ask, man, 9 sacks on Sam Darnold.
Look, I would assume that Brian Flores is probably going to get some head coaching ballots out. And I would also assume that Sam Darnold is going to get some other teams looking at him. However, I think both of them might have just decreased their stock a little bit after that game. And we'll jump into it at least a little bit with Sam Darnold. But those are all the games, and we're really just going to hop into the news because I want to get to some of the games that we're going to predict and the more important news sections. So, fellas, it's been a long season. It's been a long. There's been a lot of things that we've talked about, and one of them is with this team. Do you believe in miracles? Because the Cowboys have finally fired Mike McCarthy. Holy shit, fellas. We've been calling it all year. This man sucks. I mean,
terrible.
He was not good in Green Bay. He was okay. I don't want to say that. He was decent in Green Bay. However, he was carried by his team, and he goes to the Cowboys where they have plenty of talent, and he has been ass. And finally, Geriatric Jones does something that actually is meaningful for the Cowboys. That's it.
Too little, too late,
That's
though.
my miracle. 2025 miracle. Cowboys, maybe next year will actually be your year.
No way.
Anyways, we're going to get into some of the head coaches and really just the teams that have fired and are looking to hire some new coaches. So going into it, Deion Sanders, man. Deion Sanders, we can't get away from him. Every single time we think that we can, we can't. He's considered to be a top candidate for the Cowboys head coaching job, and I've also heard that he could be going to the Raiders potentially. He wants to be a coach with his sons. We know this, which is really shitty for the Colorado team because he's moved around so many times. Imagine being a recruit that isn't a senior. You follow him from what is it?
Jackson State. HBCU, Historically Black College University.
Yeah.
I know my shit.
You go to Colorado, and then he leaves to be the head coach of his sons. So
I would rather.
I mean, I don't see him as a Cowboys coach.
No, I do though. That's the problem. I do. Here's
drama would make sense. I think he fits better in a Raiders circumstance, or like a Raiders culture.
Yeah. I would rather listen to Joe Buck call an NFL game than have Deion Sanders be a coach in the NFL. That should just go to show how much I don't want Deion Sanders to be in the NFL. I respect him as a coach. I think honestly he is a great coach. I just can't stand his antics. I really just can't.
Yep.
He is the LeVar Ball of coaching. He really is. He's just
he sucks.
Yeah. But he would be good for Dallas, and I really do think that's a perfect fit. I'm not going to lie to you. I just don't know if he can translate to the NFL. It's a little bit different.
We're going to see.
So.
I have a very, very good feeling he's going to be a head coach next year. Unfortunately for us, but we'll see. Moving on, the Patriots have hired Mike Vrabel. Anthony, we are so back? ?
We're so back. We're so back. We're going 5-12.
Seattle improvement strat.
Exactly. No, honestly, I'm pumped. Honestly, it's no Ben Johnson, but I'm totally good with this.
Probably second or third best.
Yeah. No, exactly. And what did I say? What was it last week? Gerard Mayo, just not the kind of coach you really need right now. And they're way better out there. Mike Vrabel, this is 1,000 times better. And like you just said, second or third best probably on the market. And we secured him. Patriots alum, 3-time Super Bowl champion as well. Hell yeah. I'll take it. I'm hyped. We're so back.
I like it. And honestly, I like Vrabel. I think that he did well with the Titans until things kind of went bad. And I don't want to give it a complete blame on him, but I think, okay, Keen. I think that that organization obviously is just the shits, and we've seen that even after when Vrabel has left. However, there's also rumors that Josh McDaniels is going to be the OC. Anthony, have you heard this? What do you think about that? Do you not like it?
So after watching him be the head coach, right, for the Raiders, for example, right, and other times he was a head coach for other teams, he fucking sucks. But I think we've all seen how he is as an offensive coordinator for the Patriots organization, and
He does well. He does well.
extremely well. So I'm kind of hoping it will be like that again. Obviously, I'm going to have high hopes in that case. He's not a head coach. He's back to offensive coordinator, and that's where he needs to stick with that. You are an offensive coordinator and stick with it because that's where you succeed the best. And that's where a team and an organization, from what we've seen, that's how they succeed the best as well. So if that happens, I won't be pissed. I will be happy.
Hey.
And I think especially now with Drake May, I think with the 4th pick in the draft, I think Christian Gonzalez, I think with Ramondre Stevenson, I think we can kind of get something going here. And I'm very excited.
Hey, look. The last time that you had something going, you had a defensive head coach, you had a good offense coordinator, and a white quarterback. What's happening now? Mike Vrabel, defensive-minded head coach. The OC that was there with Tom Brady might be coming back. And now you have a quarterback that is also white and is playing well.
You just need Riley Moss.
Now you just need a white fucking receiver and a good tight end. Now we're talking.
God. You can't have Jake Bobo.
We have our white tight end. We have Hunter Henry, and
you
then
do.
Yes. So we just need our white receiver. We need another flying squirrel. And on top of that, Ramondre Stevenson, I'm sorry, he's going to be like the Blunt on our team, Remember him? Dog.
Blunt.
Yeah. So
look,
hey,
man, I'm not saying that history repeats itself, but it might be repeating itself.
It may be.
Moving on, we're going to talk about some players and what they're doing and what's happening with them. Russell Wilson says that he plans to return to the Steelers in 2025. Like we said with this team, I personally think this is a mistake. You should move on from Russ. I don't think that he was good. I don't think he was bad. He just fits an offense that is ran like it's in the 1990s. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have something to say about it. I just don't. I don't really see Russ's primetime Russ again. I don't think it's possible. And Steelers offense and defense needs something new.
He's no longer Mr. Unlimited. He's just Mr. Limited. So it's just, yeah.
Talking about ass and Mr. Unlimited and Limited, there's a guy that has been very limited since he's been traded, and that is Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson has been waived by the Texans after just 2 games. So my question to you is, how ass do you have to be waived by a fucking playoff team?
I think Deontay Johnson just needs to wave back. Sorry, dad joke.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I think honestly, he was fine with the Panthers. He was balling out with them and he was playing just fine. I think that I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's on the other side in the locker room and everything like that. I don't know what's happening. Keaton?
Can I interject? Okay. He played great with the Panthers, wanted to go to another team, went to the Ravens. Ravens thought they were going to get some big name guy. I think he had 3 catches. Oh, no. I'm sorry.
Nope. 1 catch, 6 yards.
Yeah. Played only 39 snaps for the team, catching 1 pass for 6 yards. He literally refused to play. He just decided, I'm tired of not getting the ball. I'm going to stop playing. And so,
Campbell.
Yep. And so he was released. He was suspended, released. He got picked up by the Texans, and he played only 15 out of the Texans' 70 offensive snaps, received only 1 target, and he finished the game with 1 catch for 12 yards. Johnson was visibly upset in the locker room. He was fully dressed, sitting at his locker, staring in frustration because of a lack of playing time and targets. Running back Joe Mixon and linebacker Azeez Al-Shaair tried to comfort and encourage him. This was after they won an upset victory, and he was sitting fully dressed, upset because he didn't get played enough. Be a team player.
If it was you that said that, Keaton, or Anthony said it, or someone else, but just the position of wide receivers needs its own fucking documentary on how much these guys can be.
They are divas, dude.
Because, dude, it's insane. All of them are.
They are the real housewives of the NFL.
Seriously.
That's what they are.
And, unfortunately, we have some more news about a wide receiver. Keaton, let's jump into this A.J. Brown sideline action that we saw. I don't know if you have the video. I mentioned
Oh,
it
I have
earlier.
the video.
AJ Brown was caught on the sidelines reading a self-help book in the Eagles playoff game. Keaton, take it away,
Yeah.
man.
Let me get my Twitter ready. Ha. Sorry.
Bro said, "Yeah, we're winning a playoff game right now, but I'm just gonna pull out some nonfiction and get out into a different reality."
So he was reading a self-help book. Let's watch him.
He pulled it out of his jacket. Okay. What the fuck?
This is crazy.
He ain't even reading either, bro. He flipped to the middle of the fucking book.
You know what that is? Hold on. That is the LeBron James when they asked him what his favorite. He's like halfway through a book, and they're like, "What's your favorite page?" And he's like, "All of it, man. I love this whole book." That's the same thing, dude. That is the same damn thing.
Man. I couldn't believe that when I saw that.
I don't love this. I think, you can think about it any way you want. Maybe he's just in his own head and he's trying to get out of it. I don't like this at all whatsoever. The
Whatever
fact
it
is
he's trying to send a message.
Yeah, the fact is you are trying to be a team player. You have a team that is struggling to get a win out there that should absolutely be dominating, and you are not helping. You should not be just selfishly just reading by yourself. It's weird. It's a weird. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do, right? It's just weird to do in a playoff game. Maybe you can encourage your teammates. Hey, we got to do this. I just don't think that's the right move at the right time. Just reading on the sidelines. That's like texting. It's like texting someone on the sidelines. It's the same concept.
Yeah, it's not only that. It's like
weird.
If you're not on the field and you guys are struggling, number one, reading a book doesn't help anyone. Number two, why don't you go bring your tablet to Jalen Hurts and say, "Hey, bud, what the fuck's going on? Why are you throwing for 134 yards? Why do I only have one reception for 10 yards?" I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but being productive rather than reading a book, I think would help your team even more. They won the game, but I would be worried for that Eagles team. That's all I'm going to say. And we have some more news about the Eagles. Keaton, take it away again, man.
Yes. Okay. So this video does not have.
SpongeBob. What is it?
This video does not have audio, but I will try and just fill in the blanks here. So this is. You can read the headline: Eagles fan yells slurs at female Packers fan during NFC playoff game. So let's see if there is subtitles. You can't really see it, but this woman is literally just cheering. Contextually, she was literally just being a Packers fan, and she was on the Eagles side of the field, and she just had these drunk idiots just yelling at her. And specifically, it's this one guy behind her. He ended up calling her a dumb C word. Rhymes with punt, football term there for you idiots. And yeah, basically don't call her a dumb. She's an ugly, dumb, cool. Yeah, awesome. So.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it got pretty heated.
Around and watch the game, bitch.
And they're jawing at each other, and these guys aren't really doing anything to stop it. This guy's just being an asshole. So, what's the result of this, right? Well, some people are like, "Oh, that's just normal sportsmanship." That's not normal. You don't disrespect someone like that, not for any reason. Big Dom, if you guys don't know who Big Dom is, I believe he's the head of security for the Eagles. Yep. He is an American football employee who is the senior advisor to the general manager, director of game day coaching operations, and the chief security officer for the Philadelphia Eagles. This guy is a big Italian sausage-looking motherfucker. This guy would take out a kneecap for not paying the $5 fee, right? He finds this guy and says, "You're gone, pal. You're banned.
For life.
Banned him for life. Got him out of there." And then, to try and clean up the image, he gave that woman that was getting bombarded signed Packers gear and just sent it to her house.
Crazy.
Pretty fucking cool.
That's
Pretty
crazy.
fucking cool.
That is cool.
So
I will say Big Dom's a bitch. Gained a little bit of respect from me.
Yeah.
Gained a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, I will say that was probably like the most sane Eagles fan there is. So
Yeah. Someone was like, this is every Eagles game. It was like, yeah, but no one's recording, so I don't know what you want.
Exactly. Well, moving on, we're going to talk about two rookie quarterbacks to kind of end the news section of it. And I'm going to butcher this, I think. Amor Fati, is that how you say it? Fati?
Amor Fati.
How do you say it? Amor Fati.
More fatty.
A more fatty.
Yeah, you want some more fatty? Yeah, I'm sure.
Anyways, amor fati is Latin, means embracing everything that happens in life as good or necessary. Safe to say, JJ has a right mindset. If you don't know who said this, this was JJ McCarthy back in August 13th, 2024, when he tore his ACL and his knee and all of that. However, just 22 hours ago, we got JJ McCarthy just saying amor fati. I like saying that now. I like
tweeting it.
And he tweeted it again after what we saw with that Vikings game. Look, I don't want to allude to what we think this means, but again, going into it, it says love of fate or love of one's fate. He's basically saying things happen for a reason. And Sam Darnold has played well the whole year up until these last 2 weeks, and has played really, really bad the last 2 weeks. So my question to you is, what is going to happen with the Vikings? Did Sam Darnold cost himself a lot of millions? Is he going to be on the Vikings team next year? Are they going to go with JJ McCarthy? What do we think is going to happen?
And
You see, the tough thing is that this can be put into a lot of different ways here, a lot of different directions with what he means by this, right? It could mean, this happened for everything happens for a reason because, I wasn't starting. It could be everything happens for a reason. This just wasn't the year for us and we're going to get better. We're going to get stronger.
Mm-hmm.
It could mean Sam Darnold really wasn't the guy for us, but it's going to that's just how it is though. So yes, it wasn't our year. I mean, and I kind of repeated the first one with that one there, but it can mean a lot of different things. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to think positive, and I'm going to go with the second one, just kind of saying, hey, you know what? This just wasn't our year. We'll get better, and we're going to continue to get better. But that's just kind of me looking more on positive side of things within the sport and a community and a franchise. So that's my take.
I'm gonna flip it. So I think it was just saying like, hey, I'm glad the season went the way it did. Whatever. Like, you have to accept that this is what happened. This is the outcome, and you guys got to be positive about it. However, how I want to think about it is him thinking, fuck me, if Sam Darnold cooked against the Lions, somehow got that 1 seed and cooked in the playoffs, my ass might have been shipped out to fucking, my ass was going to Miami. I'm sorry. It's going to happen. I want to think that he tweeted that because Sam Darnold was so fucking ass that there is no shot that JJ McCarthy staying healthy doesn't guarantee him a lock to be the starting quarterback on that franchise. Yep. Sam Darnold cost himself a lot of money, man. I mean, he cost himself over the last 2 weeks probably $5 to $10 million a year, at least, because he went from a more than likely a massive 5-year contract with some NFL team to probably a 1 year or a 2 year $15 to $10 million contract, as opposed to a $23 million contract over 5 years, 4 or 5 years, 5 years, 20, whatever I mean, right? I think he cost himself a fuck ton of money, metric ton of money. 9 sacks. This is, you can't do it, man. You can't take 9 sacks. Again. What's crazy is Daniel Jones had 9 sacks last year. He is the practice squad player that was brought up to be the backup for this Vikings game, his first game as a backup, and he watches another quarterback on the same team that he's on get sacked 9 times. Kind of ironic.
No way.
Yeah, kind of cool.
Oh my God, man.
The Daniel Jones curse.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones curse. Yeah. He is a cursed quarterback.
The Daniel Jones locker. You guys remember that clip?
Oh,
that's an OG one. That was fun.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I mean, Keaton and Anthony, like you said, but Anthony, you more so brought it up. It's really just the way of how you view it, right? It could be either glass half empty, glass half full, right? Mm-hmm. And I want to say that it makes sense as to why it's the more positive one, because when he tore his knee up, he tweeted the exact same thing. So I think he's more so just saying like, hey, the season didn't end the way that we wanted to. But I kind of want to think like, hey, man, I got a chip on my shoulder.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
JJ McCarthy, he does have
Always had a
on his
chip.
shoulder. He
Always
has,
had a chip
so
on his shoulder.
I don't think he's calling out Sam Darnold, but I do completely agree with both of you guys. I mean, it's just a matter of opinion, and Sam Darnold just cost himself at least $10 million, at least the way that he's played the last 2 weeks, which sucked for him because he was playing great. And then another rookie quarterback that I wanted to give a shout out to was Bo Nix. So it came out after his loss against the Bills that Nix has played through 2 key wins with a back fracture. He has had a back fracture since late November. So
Yeah,
last
that's
couple
insane.
of wins, and I think it's been more. The injury occurred right in the middle of the Broncos' 4-game winning streak that put the Broncos in position to clinch their first playoff berth in 9 years. Again, I guess I was in November 24th, so I think it spans back to more than 2 games. I guess it might have just been like 2 wins, obviously, to get into the playoffs, and then maybe the game before. I don't really know what they're talking about because, I mean, they kind of struggled there. But he played the last half of the season, what it seems like, with a fractured back. So, Bo Nix, you are a dog. Hey, look, man, I'm going to straight up say it, and I've been wrong a lot this year. I was wrong about Bo Nix. Straight up. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, he suffered it in week 12. That's what this one article says. So he's been playing the last 6 games with a broken back. So
He played really well.
Wrong about Bo Nix. He had a great rookie year, and typically you play like that, you win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He didn't because of Jaden Daniels, and which I think is going to win. Obviously, they haven't came out with it, but
I think that's a lock. But
yeah, the chances of him winning are very low, unfortunately. But yeah, he played great. I was wrong about him. I think we were all kind of wrong about him. Now it's JJ's turn. We're going to see, man. We are going to see. I think we kind of got all the crazy stats out of the way, unless we have some more. Anthony Keaton, do you guys have any? I mentioned my 2, so
yeah, I don't.
2 or 3.
Okay. Well then,
yeah, no, I'm
we're
good.
Get into
I don't think I have any.
Man. No
I don't have
fantasy. No playoff prediction brackets. No power rankings. Just getting into
life,
the
dude.
divisional round, man. It's depressing. It's depressing, man. No, I'm just kidding. But let's get into it.
Yeah.
Week 20 divisional round. Saturday, first game, Texans at Chiefs. I want to say this unanimously.
So I do want to. Oh, sorry. Go.
We're thinking the Chiefs. However, maybe you think something different, Ant.
No, so I kind of have like past games brought up as well for each of these games from this year. So December 21st, Texans and Chiefs played at Arrowhead, and the Chiefs ended up winning this one 27-19. Once again, yes, this was during CJ Stroud's sophomore year slump, I guess, because clearly that's gone. Don't know how, but maybe it's still there. But I don't know. I am debating. I am going to say the Chiefs, I think, but I think this weekend, I think everyone is a Texans fan besides 14-year-old girls that are Swifties.
Yep.
Yeppers.
And Missouri.
Missouri.
So unanimously, we can go with the Chiefs, right?
Nope. I'm gonna go with the Texans.
I'm going with the Texans.
No fucking way, you guys.
And I'm worried about the bye week. I'm sorry.
We predicted the Chiefs to win.
Look, I didn't predict the Chiefs to win. I said no.
I know.
Did not say
True,
Chiefs were winning.
True.
Predictions can change. The Texans played a lot better than I thought they would, and I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not going to be an idiot. If the Chiefs are going to lose, they're going to lose in the AFC Championship.
I'll eat the idiot.
Hang on.
No way, dude.
I'm eating the idiot too. The last time the Chiefs played too was January 5th.
And they rested a lot of their players, so they have
rested.
Patrick Mahomes has not played in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I'm not.
We'll see.
They're the best coach team in the fucking NFL.
I know. Maybe the Rams. I might put the Rams over.
Honestly, I could see it being like a 27-19 game though. Like I think it's
I think it'll be close.
The Chiefs are going to do it again. Commanders at Lions.
This one I don't have.
I want to say something.
This is going to be a close game.
I want to say something again, but it doesn't seem like we're all on the same page. So
I'm in the Lions. I'm going Lions.
I'm in the Lions.
Okay. So we are on
Yeah.
the same page.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if that defense
No.
for the Commanders unloads.
Not against the Commanders.
So we'll see.
Not against the Commanders. Okay, well, Sunday we have the last two games, Rams at Eagles, dude. I am really thinking about it.
This is gonna
really
bother
thinking
me.
about
So for this one, last time they played, November 24th, Eagles won this game 37-20.
Yeah, but that's when Saquon went crazy, right? Like had 200 rushing yards or something like that.
Something
Yes.
like that. Yeah.
So yeah.
But
I'm gonna
just
go.
bringing that up too.
I'm just gonna go Eagles. I don't expect the Eagles to be that bad 2 weeks in a row.
This is tough because honestly, and I didn't say this earlier when we were talking about the Rams game, but and I think we can all collectively agree too, when the Rams are in the playoffs, they're a different team.
They're a different
That
breed,
team is
man.
I know.
that team is
They're a
different
different
and that
breed.
they don't mess around. I'm gonna I have to go with the Eagles. I have to. I
So
think
wanna
in this
say
one
I want to say this. I'm going to go with the Eagles just for the simple fact of the offensive line. We saw the Rams defensive line be extremely destructive because the Vikings offensive line was awful. The Eagles have the best offensive line in the game. And I don't think they're going to be able to bracket AJ Brown like they did JJ. And I think AJ Brown might go fucking nuts, especially after a game where he's reading self-help books. I mean, something's going to happen. I got the Eagles, but I really could see this being fucking close, like 21-24.
No,
And
I
then-
can see it too.
For the game of the week and maybe the game of the year. The game that I am most excited for, besides maybe the AFC or NFC championships or the Super Bowl, depending on
This is gonna be a
the
great game.
matchups that we get.
Yes.
Realistically, this is probably the best matchup possible for just viewers. Ravens at Bills. Look,
This
man,
might as well be the Super Bowl. Sorry. This
Look,
may as
man.
well just be it.
I'm gonna say this. Whoever gets to the AFC is gonna be through a fucking gauntlet.
Yeah.
Like whoever wins this game, if they beat the Chiefs, they are gonna be through a gauntlet. I
Or-
would not put money.
Or
I would not
Texans.
put money or the
Mhm.
Texans. I would not put money against the AFC winner. Just looking at it, I'm just saying that now.
So-
Unless they get injured,
I'm gonna personally
At
take
the
the Bills.
it's at the Bills. Anthony, you can go for it. I have my opinion.
So
really
I was going to
excited
say,
for this
so
game.
for this last game in Baltimore, the Ravens won 35-10.
Yeah.
This was one of the Bills' first losses as well.
Playoff
Um,
atmospheres are different though.
I'm not going to lie, boys. I don't care how good that Ravens offensive line is. I don't care about the whole thing with Derrick Henry. Yes, he's a stud. He's the king, whatever. Give me the Bills. Give me Josh
Look,
Allen
man.
and the fucking Bills.
Look, I don't want to do this, and if I could, I would zoom in on my face. I could do the solo layout, but I'm not going to. But that's how much emphasis I want to put on this. I would put a lot of money on Lamar Jackson turning over the ball at least once and it
No,
impacting
please.
the game.
Don't say that. Don't say that because every single time you said I'll put a lot of money down, it's gone complete opposite.
No. I've made a fool out of myself a couple times. And maybe
Every
I said
time.
that last episode. However, Gaba, that would be the one thing that I do. I just have a feeling, man. I have a feeling that Josh Allen's going to play great because he's shown us he can play great in the playoffs. And, hey, Lamar, he played like an MVP last game. However, it's against the Steelers defense. That's not like the Bills defense. I just have a feeling when it matters, we're going to see Lamar make a mistake. And I'm hoping that he can prove me wrong because it's like both these quarterbacks need to get over the hump, realistically. But I got the Bills. Man. And,
Keep
we
talking.
didn't do too great predicting last time, but I feel like, for the overall predictions, we're going to do good this week. We have some exciting games. I'm really excited for this game. And then the AFC Championship game, dude. That's
Yeah.
going to be fucking awesome.
I'm gonna go Bills. I'm gonna go Bills on this one.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I want to point this out here too, okay? Nice little stat for this game, okay? Lamar Jackson playoff stats, okay? 1,499 yards, 8 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 81.2 passer rating, in quotes, team let down, basically, okay? Or team let him down, okay? You have Josh Allen, 2,995 yards, 23 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 102.3 passer rating, in quotes, a playoff choker.
He's never been a playoff choker. They even mentioned that shit when he played the Chiefs, bro. That's the best game I think I've ever watched, or maybe one of them. I mean, it's got to be up there. And he did not choke. He did not choke.
Didn't.
Not
It's
one
just funny
bit.
how some people are actually saying this, though.
Yeah. Hey, man, I'm telling you, if history repeats itself, just like the Patriots, we could see Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes. And I'd be extremely excited about that. We could see Josh Allen and the Bills move on, and I think it's going to happen. However, I would not be surprised if the Ravens won. And part of me is kind of rooting for both of them because I like both the quarterbacks, but I just think Josh is better.
I think there's only 3 teams. There's only 3 teams in my eyes as of right now that could beat the Chiefs this year. It is the Lions, that is the Bills, and that is the Ravens. Those are the only 3 teams. And no matter what comes out of this game, one of those teams will be facing the Chiefs. But I'm praying that the Texans beat the Chiefs. But Texans, so I mean, hey. Everyone's a Texans fan.
I think Lamar clears Josh Allen by a lot, but I do think this will be a great game.
Not going to win, man.
Let's just say, hey.
I'm just.
I know.
Positive, but I just don't think it is.
I know.
That wraps up this week, fellas. You guys have anything more?
Nope. I'm clean out, man.
I hope the Chiefs get belt to ass this week, boys.
Go Texans! Please.
I actually. Never been a bigger Eagles fan than this week, so
kind of odd. I hate both teams. So
I hate the Rams, so
anyways, please like, subscribe, comment. We will catch y'all next week. Peace.
Wheeling to punt it away. Cleaner operation this time, trying to pin everybody deep, and it's fielded on the far sideline. It's Blackwell, a little bit of trickery in the special teams game, and Blackwell is going to take it all the way for a Chicago touchdown.